guys, am I on day 7? I can't even tell what day I'm on. Let me not even mention the day. Today is another day of exercise. I'll count when I go back to do my editing. How are you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. It's a very, very cloudy day. Super cloudy. Morning. It's actually morning time. Today is story time. I'm going to be telling you guys a story. But first, I'm going to switch it off, do a little bit of walking, and then when I get to a certain different place, I'll talk to you because there's a lot of activity here. People are building. Guys, can you see what I'm seeing over there? Look at that car. It was turning a corner. People just are not serious with driving safe. This is crazy. How can a car be upside down? Huh? Upside down. This is unbelievable. This place really usually has no traffic whatsoever. You can see the light is on the inside. I don't know how the person got out. It fell inside a ditch. Like you wonder, how did they even get to that point? How? How did that happen? You guys, we should be very careful when we're driving, huh? Very, very careful. But what can I say? Most likely driving under the influence, because it looked like it must have happened at night. That accident did not happen in the morning. Where? Goes to show that I should also be careful when I'm walking. Okay, today, guys, I want to share with you a very interesting story. Remember there's a time 2 days ago, I think, I told you that I was listening to someone who was very interesting online. Maybe you've even come across that video, but I also have to ask you a question. Would you stay in this situation? Would you stay? The last time I asked you, would you stay if you have a partner with a mental health illness? A partner who started to show mental health problems, would you stay? Well, I didn't hear whether anybody would stay or not, but it's an interesting question, right? So, looks like this is the route that I usually take for telling stories. Maybe it's quiet, it's in the morning, and I'm on my walk. But anyway, guys, I was listening to a story on one of my walks, and it was about a lady in the UK. She was black. She was actually Zimbabwean. I believe you must have already watched it. If not, I'm going to also tag that particular video also in my comment section or in the description. And then you can go watch it for yourself. But in summary, it goes like this. The lady got married, and within 9 months, something happened to her. Something life-changing, life-altering. She got married and had just gone to do lobola back in Zimbabwe, So she was very happy that her husband honored her family. And because she wanted to do that tradition of lobola, which is bride price and all that. Yeah, he actually delivered cows to her family, and she was really grateful for that. So she was, all praises for this guy and very happy. And let's not forget to also enjoy the stream. That's interesting. I wonder where this water is coming from, really, sincerely. So back to the story. This lady was all praises anyway for her husband, who went and took cows to her father, honored her basically, with the lobola payment. Some of us have different views about lobola. Should it be paid? Are we done with bride price, or should it continue? Yeah. I'll tell you what, my father didn't believe in it, although he used to be there overseeing lobola payments for other people's children, but he didn't really believe in it. And he used to tell us when we were younger that it should not be done for his children. He saw it as a transactional thing that is done for girls and for wives, and he never really believed in it, Never really believed in it, Somebody wants to hit me over here, and they'd rather hit me than hit the person who has a dog on the other side. I could see the lady driving was white. Their values are different from us a lot. I'm going to walk backwards. Walking backwards kind of strengthens different muscles, you know, because I get tired walking one way. Look at the hill that I just climbed. That's the hill behind me there, guys. Yeah. So I'm turning around again. I'm gonna climb this hill, walking backwards and forwards. Everybody's passing me. Goes to show you how unfit I am. Struggling with this hill is not easy. I need to stop, take a deep breath to climb that hill. I'm going in the direction of St. Louis, but I'm still gonna do it. Kind of changed directions, guys. So anyway, she was grateful for this guy who paid Lobola, and she was really happy, you know. She got married, I think, in her 20s. She must have been married in her 20s or 30s, but within 9 months. And you know what happened? She always had a problem with blood pressure. Talking about blood pressure and why it's important to watch it, and why it's important for us to measure it regularly and watch out for it. High blood pressure is not good. Yeah? So, and then one day the husband, they came back to the UK and they were driving. She's actually a lawyer, big time lawyer. She has a big job. You know, she has studied hard and she's doing well with herself. And her husband, you know, they were looking for, just like any other couple, to have a really comfortable and happy life. But one day as they were driving, her husband, who was sitting in the passenger seat, noticed that she was going off the curb, going down a steep hill. But thank God I'm going downhill this time. Phew, I'm happy for that. So as she was driving, her husband noted that she was actually climbing a curb. And she herself also noted that she was getting pins and needles. I don't know where in her body. But you listen to the whole video yourself. I don't want to go into great detail because she will give the details herself. But she realized that she was actually getting a stroke. And immediately, because she knew that, they quickly drove very fast. She ended up in hospital and she was saved right on time. I think most likely they must have called the ambulance and they came very fast. And within, I think, just a few minutes, I think 15 minutes or so, she was in a hospital. So her situation was at least dealt with really on time. But it still left her with a paralyzed toes. She cannot feel her toes. But she's really grateful for the kind of, what do we call it? She's grateful because she has the latest treatments in the UK. Yeah, she has access. Yeah. She has the latest treatments, guys, in the UK. Yeah. And so she's really grateful for that, you know, which is amazing. Quite amazing. I'm just coming across an interesting wall with a very interesting gate. You guys have to see this. So this lady, yeah, lucky as she is, she ended up being saved by the fact that one, she had knowledge, two, she had access to treatment very, very, very fast, yeah, and three, she has access to the latest technology, latest inventions and innovations, should I say, in medicine, which is very, very important. And the question is, do we have that? Do we have that? Wow, guys, look at that gate. My God, this must be major. Yeah, so as I'm walking down the hill here, it's kind of fun. So basically, yeah, she had the latest treatments. And so she had the latest innovation and the latest treatments. Lucky woman, lucky woman. Now, what was amazing is, sometimes I told you people sometimes we are so used to hearing horror stories about how husbands leave their wives, about how couples, a man like that one, a young man like that in his 30s, getting married to a lady also in her 30s, and then she gets sick suddenly, and now she can no longer operate, and she's actually concerned. She talked about the fact that she's concerned about whether they're going to be able to have children, but her husband was very supportive, and he would come to the hospital. Actually, she was even unconscious in a coma for a while, and when she woke up, she couldn't feel her toes, and she was just a different person. And now she had to live with the fact that now she's a new person. She's a new person now, who is now disabled. Yeah, she's now disabled. She qualifies as being differently abled. Imagine, one minute you're fine, the next minute you wake up disabled. Why? Because of blood pressure. High blood pressure can lead to strokes very, very easily, guys. Very, very easily. So we have to be very careful. So in the end, anyway, she's done very well for herself, and her husband stayed and has been very supportive, and and has helped her to accept her condition, because she was the first person who found it almost. She was the one who was having a hard time accepting her condition. Yeah, but her husband was very supportive. So what I wanted just to encourage people is, just accept yourself no matter what situation you're in. If you find that one day you find yourself with a disability, you were able-bodied before, and then all of a sudden you're no longer able-bodied, yeah, then just accept yourself, because in the end, that's what's important. We just have to accept ourselves the way we are. There was a time I was renting a very beautiful home around here. When I was a single mom, I was doing quite well, I told you, in business. And I rented a very beautiful home out in Karen, in this area, for myself and my son, because I didn't want to live, you know, in the city. I didn't want to live in an apartment. I wanted my son to grow up in an area like this where he can ride his bikes. And he has friends around here. So sometimes when you're choosing a place to stay, it's good to choose a place where your children can ride bikes and live a good life generally. Yeah. I'm going to walk backwards now. Again. Let me walk backwards. Oh, in fact, that is such a beautiful shot. Let me take a picture. This was not actually my plan to come this way. My plan was to actually go to the giraffe center and take video for you guys. Because I have a friend who said that I should be doing more videos. I should be doing more animal and wildlife videos. We are surrounded by them here, so I thought I was going to do that, but things changed. Okay, now let me listen to my video as I climb this hill. I'm going to climb it backwards. Believe me, I'm climbing backwards. See? It's not impossible as long as there's no traffic. Climbing backwards helps the other muscles and gives your other side a break. Strengthening different muscles. I remember when I was a kid, I used to run backwards. Now I can't even walk backwards. My husband said, strengthen the joints around the knee. Still walking backwards. Walking backwards up a hill, as long as there's no traffic, is fine. It's actually fun. I've covered some distance. I used to live in this gate, in this neighborhood right here. Turning again, walking backwards. Came down from that hill. I didn't know it was such a steep hill when I was coming up. area, yeah.